Hello, welcome out to the Death Battle cast. As always, we are the cast and crew of Death Battle. I'm Ben, I play Wiz.
I'm Luis Cruz. I do the animation for this Shredder vs. Samurai.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey, Luis. What's up?
All good.
I'm Torian. I'm the 3D animator.
I'm Chad. I play Boomstick.
I'm more interested in you.
And yes,
Yeah.
for the first time ever, we are joined by our 2D animator, Luis Cruz.
Hey!
If you haven't seen Shredder vs. Silver Samurai yet, we'll do that because we're going to talk about it. It's going to be plenty of spoilers and everything. But he was the guy who animated it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that later. Also, real quick, thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this episode. We'll have more information about them later on. All right. So, guys.
Yes.
A new death battle just came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shredder vs. Silver Samurai. And we also have a community death battle to
have
get
a
to
community,
and
yep.
discuss. So if you don't know, community death battles, the way those work, they're just random matches that we come up with on the fly on the show. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're stupid as hell. We'll throw it to you guys to see who you think would win using the hashtag DeathBattleCast on Twitter. Last week, Torian, do you remember what the community death battle was from last week?
No.
Not at all? You were the one who
You suggested
Oh, wait, no,
made
no,
it
no.
happen.
I got it.
Yeah?
Spider-Man.
Not even close.
God damn it.
Well, actually, it was kind of close.
Well, actually, yeah.
It was close.
Yeah.
All right, let's follow the steps here, Torian. What could possibly be associated with Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Maybe some kind
Oh,
of...
it's some. So I'm close. It is Spider-Man.
Well,
It's not Spider-Man.
Oh, it's Venom.
It's something to do with Spider-Man that might include
Come on, man. Sandman.
Uh-huh.
versus
Versus-
the person you suggested, the one you've been asking for.
I don't know. I don't know. What is this new two-shot? What is this? It's throwing
This
me
is the
off.
shot of judgment, so that I may judge you.
Oh no! Somebody I adjust? I mean, I
Somebody-
adjust.
You
Somebody
suggested
Come
this
on.
person multiple times.
You at least have to get that.
God damn
Oh,
it.
my gosh.
Virgil.
No.
Is it any character that I like?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a
You
character
guys,
with
I-
it's a character with a super suit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Usually, I'm facetious. a
That's
lot.
not enough. That's not
Oh my
enough.
God.
But I legit don't remember.
Did you hear what Ben just said? It's a character with a super suit.
Yeah.
Character- Okay, with a super suit,
Yes.
like a super.
Yeah.
Frozone.
There-
Yes.
We've
done
it! Super suit.
We have gotten to it.
Yes.
All right, Sandman versus Frozone.
Why did we decide that?
You did it.
You were the one who wanted to do it. We gave it to you, man.
So sorry. I don't remember the last week of my life. What happened? How did I get here?
I wasn't even here. I remember that.
He wasn't even on the show and he goes on this.
Oh, way to throw me under the bus.
It's two of us. It's two of us. Maybe we have some fan art later on the show of Luis throwing him under the bus now, or both of us.
I'm sorry,
it's
man,
Time for you to
but
leave already.
at the
That was
very
your-
least, I
that was
would-
your 15 seconds.
Look, at the very least, I would hope that you remember that from last week. Because that's the thing that you suggested.
Man, I really don't. Remember.
I'm just...
I really didn't remember. I'm scared.
All right, well, let's bring up the first answers for, I believe we got Team Sandman first.
Team Sandman. From Zachary Spardlin?
Zachary Spradlin.
Spradlin. There we are. I like that. Frozone could not use his powers if he and the area around him has no moisture.
Ah.
And then I lost my cards to read from. So let's
No moisture.
ponder
He
that.
said that-
I think-
No moisture. Well, Sandman can survive if just one of his particles has his mind in it. Wait, what? Sandman can survive if just one of his particles has his mind.
Has his mind and it escapes. So Sandman, the consciousness of Sandman is in one grain.
Okay, got it. Sandman can just do what he did to Spider-Man last week or make an airtight coffin with his body around Frozone. Very good argument.
Fair argument.
And then Relatable Maple, the most relatable of trees. Sandman can become a living sandstorm, cute Derude, stripping flesh from bone. Frozone can't even find his super suit.
Hey man, look, he's been out of the game for a while. You can't hold that against him. If he gets a super suit, then as you saw, he was awesome.
I mean,
true.
you could throw him out by saying, like, to Sandman, like, where's my super suit? And he's like, wait, what? And then at that point, you can freeze him.
Yep, there you go.
Confuse Sandman is
Yeah,
your
confuse him.
strategy.
Just
Hey,
confuse
where's
him.
my super suit? The fuck are you talking about?
At that point, you freeze him.
It's like,
Oh my
perfect.
God.
Oh, you're like Sandman's just got the grace to be like, oh, you're right. Before this begins,
Yeah,
let's
we
find
can't
it.
we can't battle until you have the
thank-
super suit.
He helps him out. With the super suit.
Good.
Is it in laundry? No. Okay, did you hang it up in the closet? Oh,
Wife
let's go check
knows.
out.
Is it under the bed? Did you check under the bed?
Where's your wife? Does she know? I'm sure she's a nice lady. She'll probably know. All right, let's bring up the the ideas for Frozone, whether or not he would win.
All right. This one from Eric Lang says, for Sandman to control sand, it needs to be in contact with the grain that controls his mind, soul molecule, right? Or a chain of sand leading to it. Frozone's ice powers are directly tied to moisture. He's depleted by fire, all right, and needs to drink to replenish. His ice sprays are probably freezing water that solidifies when it achieves the desired shape or hits its target. As Sandman moves, so would the tiny gaps between grains. Water molecules are smaller than sand grains, so a continuous spray would work into the gaps and coat the grains, separating them from each other and making them inanimate.
Sorry.
All right, so those grains of sand. Eventually, Sandman would lose enough mass that his mind grain would be close enough to the surface to freeze and he'd be incapacitated.
Whoa, that is
gosh.
that is an intense analysis.
That's an
All right.
awesome
was
answer.
good.
I love
Yeah.
that. And the next one is from Jam and H. Harvey. Frozone has the ability to freeze a bullet 2 feet out of the gun to a stop. Sandman couldn't even react before he was hit. Interesting.
Okay.
Good points.
I'm trying to remember though. The guy didn't fire the gun, and then Frozone didn't turn and then freeze it, right? Didn't the guy already have the gun out and he's already starts freezing and it finishes.
Yeah, but that
freezing
still means that he
He-
can freeze him faster than the bullet
like
traveling.
he
true.
He shot and then he froze.
Kind of like we did the analysis on Sub-Zero and Glacius a couple episodes back about how fast or how cold ice would have to be to freeze something in less than a couple seconds. And it's crazy cold. It's beyond like absolute zero.
Physics
It's
and
nuts.
law.
Yeah, like it breaks the rules of reality. So in order for that to happen with the bullet, he would have to kind of match that sort of thing where the sheer coldness of his ice is completely unrealistic.
Right.
Yeah.
There was also somebody shared a panel, it wasn't shared here, but somebody shared a panel of Sandman getting frozen in ice before. So ice can affect his body and freeze him together. So that is definitely a thing. So,
Interesting.
out of those arguments,
I thought this was
you
going to
think?
be a stomp. But,
I'm gonna
I
go.
thought Sandman would stomp this.
Yeah, I mean, the molecule argument was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Frozone, 'cause that's my brother.
Yeah. Same here.
My
Frozone.
brother.
Frozone? Why do you say Frozone?
Because he can freeze the freaking particles and whatnot and all that.
What?
He can freeze the particles and whatnot and all that.
And all that
And all that
jazz.
jazz. I like that.
All that
That's a
jazz.
good argument. There you go. But like, I mean, so he needs to freeze the moisture in the air,
And he needs a super suit.
and he needs a super suit. And you know, Sandman could always just create the storm and rip the super suit off of him. Then what's he gonna do?
Put on a ski mask like
Yeah.
they did in the movie.
That's true.
But he does have to have the suit?
No, he
No.
doesn't.
No, I was
no,
going
no.
to say,
you
like,
need
Make
the
it up
suit
shit.
too.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is that scene where they break in or they try to save
People from
Yeah,
burning
from the
buildings.
fire. Yeah.
fire or something like that. Yeah, they don't have the suits. They're in
Yeah.
black.
That's
ski
where
masks.
the gun, because they fell into the bank.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
that's right.
the security guard.
I'm going to go with Sandman. I don't think Frozone could freeze all of him. Like, especially if he's standing, like, I don't know. I just see him finding a way out of it.
Well, Sandman can, change shape and change his mass, essentially,
Right.
become a much larger, smaller figure. But they do have a point about the what was it called?
has
The
to-
soul grain or something like that.
Yeah,
There's one grain that is Sandman is technically that one grain.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that grain gets crushed or killed or whatever, then Sandman is dead. And everything, all the power stems from that one grain, which is really silly when you think about it.
Right.
But I mean, this is fucking Sandman. Everything about him is silly.
Yeah.
So long as he freezes like that grain or puts it within his ice, then Sandman can't control sand outside of it.
Right.
So
But, like, where's it going to be, like, when he freezes him, Like, is he just going to be walking around as a normal dude? Is he going to be, like, super huge? Is he going to be, like, a wall of sand
yeah,
coming
but
out of
ice would still get in between all the sand grains. So the
Yeah.
sand itself wouldn't be able to collect to like dig its way out necessarily. I don't think it's possible that might happen in the comics, but
Yeah, but I just see it as, like, part of it's getting frozen, then Sandman just used the rest of it to get around it. You know what I mean?
Sandman isn't faster than a speeding bullet.
That's true.
I think the speed
Yeah.
of that is really, because I was with you. I was thinking Sandman's got this in the bag, but that bullet feet, That's really impressive.
Yeah.
He freezes pretty much the entire guy in the time that it takes a bullet to travel about a foot. Sandman's not super fast.
Yeah.
But then what happens? I don't think Frozone has anything to kill him. Like eventually that ice is gonna melt and Sandman's gonna get out.
That's true.
So like I think okay, maybe Frozone could incapacitate him initially.
What if he freezes him and then he shoves him in a freezer?
What?
And then he never gets unfrozen.
That's how you kill Sandman.
He never gets
Is that
unfrozen.
a killing blow? Put him in.
I mean, eventually.
Close
he
the
doesn't
door.
get-
Hey, yo.
Does Sandman need food? I don't know. Like, does he need to eat?
Because
Oh, you're playing the
I
long
don't know
game.
if Sandman needs it. Probably not. I mean, if he's essentially his soul is in
guess
one
not.
molecule of sand, I don't see that thing going to the
Does
diner.
sand need food?
The sand need food. Torian, 2017.
I'm serious. He's sand. Like,
Sometimes
does he
sand
need
gets thirsty, and you can quench it with Torian sky
food? Like
water.
if he eats and then he turns into sand, like right away, what happens to the food?
flops out.
I don't know. It just like falls down. It just like falls down his body and just kind of plops out like sand, like at some point of his body,
Yeah,
like
but
out of his
he's
leg
like-
or
But
out of his
then
arm.
he's like a cat, and he scratches the sand over it
Eating
behind his
McDonald's.
face.
He's like eating McDonald's. And he's like, oh shit, Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
McDonald's is just there.
Okay. I guess I got to give it to Sandman then.
What?
You know what?
Frozone.
I don't think I think Frozone could incapacitate him. I don't think Frozone could kill him.
I think it's way closer than
Yeah,
we
definitely.
initially thought.
Yeah.
But I think Sandman just has too many options, and you're right. Frozone probably doesn't have a way to easily kill Sandman for good.
Right, and like if Frozone's trying to kill, you got to think like the thing's probably in the bit of the back of Frozone's mind. Like, well, if I ever had to kill somebody, I'd freeze him and shatter him. So he freezes Sandman, then he goes and shatters him because he doesn't know he has the soul molecule or anything like that. The problem is once he shatters him, then he's gonna just Sandman's gonna fly down his throat, make him explode, or you know,
From the inside.
yeah, exactly, or
I
you know,
did the Spider-Man in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ultimate Universe, which you saw yesterday in the Out of Context panel, which is crazy.
Yep.
But God, that was so disturbing.
I know, especially the image because it looks like gigantic testicles. Like it's not here, it's here, and it's got the like kind of
That's what he
crease
focused on.
down the middle. It does.
Not Spider-Man's
It's blowing
esophagus
up.
blowing out his throat.
So,
He had giant testicles for
so
a
I think we
second.
got a tie between Sandman and Frozone.
Oh, Frozone won.
No.
Torian believes
are you
Frozone.
doing?
But, so we got a tie. So then I guess it just really comes down to you guys. Let us know who you think should deserve to win the tie. And as we mentioned, we were just talking about the Out of Context comic book panel from last week. We're doing a slightly new format to the show where it's a little bit shorter. We're seeing how a shorter runtime works. So we're not doing each segment every single week like we used to. So we will continue to do Out of Context comic book panels, questions of the weeks, things like that. But each episode might have one or two of them rather than all of them. So that's the general idea. And you can let us know what you think about that in the comments, and we'll obviously, of course, take your suggestions and critiques and make the show even better than it was before.
And you know what,
Hopefully.
Ben? Speaking of questions, we get asked a lot of questions when we're out at conventions or sometimes just in Twitter and things like that. Like, hey, like, you know, how do you do what you do? And like,
who
what's-
are you?
or where'd you get started? And some people have different backgrounds. So like, whereas Torian is very self-taught. Ben, you went to school for this. And we are sponsored by an awesome service that can help get you guys on your way. So Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 17,000 classes, including business, film, writing, more. They even have like cooking stuff, tons of different classes. And the premium membership gets you unlimited access so you can keep learning, find inspiration, and take on new projects whenever you want. The first 500 people to use this link, take a good look at it right there. It's also in the description below. We'll get their first 2 months for free. Then it's as low as $10 a month after that to continue learning if you like it. Or cancel if you don't, there's no risk at all. Plus, you can learn from anywhere if you download the mobile app on Android or iPhone and tap into the classes even when you're offline. For example, there's a great writing class on storytelling fundamentals, and there's also some stuff on editing. Like I was looking at it looks really, really cool. So let's see. So again, the first 500 people to sign up will receive a 2-month free trial. So click the link in the description below to start your free trial with Skillshare now, or just type that in. So thanks, Skillshare.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
pretty handy.
It is. It's very much relevant to all the things that we get asked. There's so
I
many
took
great
one or
classes.
two, like, just in my journey of teaching myself a lot of stuff. I took one or two, like,
Online classes.
online classes and
Yeah.
stuff. So I definitely do understand, like, the value of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
So try it
It's
out.
almost kind of like, even if you are self-taught, like a lot of us, I think, a lot of our skills come from being self-taught and just kind of exploring how to do things in the industry. That's how I got my start. That's how I think both of you guys got your start. But then taking those classes, whether at school or online, which makes it even easier, really like fine-tunes things.
Yeah,
And then you
kinda
get
like reinforce like what you're
Yeah, and especially just
exactly.
the opportunity to talk to other people
Sure.
who do the things that you do. Even online, you can talk to teachers and stuff like that, and like find people, learn from people who have been doing this for years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's incredibly important.
And even like there's something, have you ever been like, oh, I know this program or whatever, and then like you see something and you're like, how did I never know that thing existed? That would have
never
made
know everything
that
about
would
a
have made
program.
blank so much easier, Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's a computer program, and you would think like there's a limit to how much it can do, which there obviously is, but you think you've figured out the limit of like Premiere or Flash or After Effects or something like that, and you think you know everything about it, and then somebody does something crazy with it you've never seen before. It happens all the time.
Yep.
I swear to God, I'm not like making this up.
Yeah, almost like every week I start learning like new things
Yeah.
in terms of like After Effects and Flash and all those kind of programs and stuff like that. So you never stop learning, and it's good to have like that extra layer, so you can actually improve your skills in a way that like it's more efficient.
Oh yeah.
It's a great little segue into his. Let's talk about your work on the episode that just came out.
Yay!
Spoiler time.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking a bit about Shredder versus Silver Samurai. If you haven't seen it, like I said earlier, go check it out. It's on YouTube right now. It's also been on screwattack.com for first members for a while. Thank you to everybody who's watched it so far. It's already past 1 million views, which is awesome.
Cool.
And I think this episode came together really well. Nick wrote it. Unfortunately, he's not here today. Luis has taken his spot, kicked him off.
I thought you killed him.
Push.
We thought it'd be a great opportunity because we hired Luis. Luis has been animating for us freelance for a while. I believe the first thing you did for us was the Ronald McDonald versus Colonel
Ronald
Sanders
McDonald
DVX.
versus Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was my first one.
It's over a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've always wanted to get more animators in-house. That's why we hired Torian, and we've known we wanted to have a 2D animator forever. And for those that don't know, Luis is actually a long-time Screw Attack community member, like since the beginning. pretty
Yeah,
much.
since like 2006, I've
Six.
been watching Screw Attack and all that stuff.
Yeah, and so it was just a really great fit, and his animations blew us away. Just behind the curtain, I remember when we were originally talking, and then we were like, well, maybe Jets is his username for a while, so we were like, well, maybe Jets could do it. And then we were like, well, I don't know. I've never really seen him do combat animations, really. Like, and his Flash is great, and it's funny. And then it's like, well, let's give him an audition and like see how it goes. And the audition comes in, and we're like, oh shit, like he's really good. And then he adds all these really cool like hand-drawn elements. And honestly, Ben and I were talking, we felt that Luis's animation took 2D death battles to like a whole new level. And not knocking our other animators because they're fantastic. But it just had this extra little thing, and we're like, this is the guy we should hire. And so we brought him aboard, and we're really happy to introduce him to you guys and talk about his work on this episode.
Yeah, this episode was like a whole lot of fun to make. Basically, like it was the first in-house animation that I made at the office, and it's been like
From start to finish.
yeah, from start to finish.
So you
'Cause-
came in while you were finishing up Metal Sonic vs. Zero.
Yeah, I did came in. It was like I animated for 1 day. Like I just came in the office, like, oh, this is my first day. Let me sit down and finish Metal Sonic vs. Hero.
And that was it. Then it was done.
Best turnaround ever. It's my first day. Here's a completed project. But then he went on vacation.
Way to make us look bad. Oh, and then you left.
Yeah, then he went on
I left.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then this was your first one to sit down, get the script while you were in house, talk to Nick and myself about how this would go, plan it out with us.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a whole different experience because as a freelance animator, you kind of just like get the script, get the assets, and you pretty much told go. Like go ahead and like make the whole fight happen and stuff like that, and that's cool and all because you get to experience like you get to like learn a lot of like what can you do with the kind of like time that you have and like just trying to test yourself, right?
Yeah, but it feels more alone.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. It feels
you're off
like
in like
you have
another
to,
state, another city,
another
area.
place. You have to like kind of figure things out by yourself, and that's great. But like just being in house and like being able to talk to like Torian and
Oh.
Torian.
Dude, it's so cute. I'm just gonna say it right now. I love it. I was sitting over here
you.
and like,
Yeah.
Both these guys
Luis?
sit next to each other. Their desks are next to each other.
for
It's our
longer.
animation corner.
yep. And then, goddamn, sorry. And so like, no, I remember it was like probably like the first week that you were in for your first full week. I looked over and Torian scooted his chair over, and they're both like side by side. And Torian's like, "What if you tried to do this?" And he's like, "Oh, that'd be so cool." Because I was thinking about doing this. Torian's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Now what if you tried it this way?" And I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, look at our little budding animation department.
Get out of my room, Mom. Get out of my room. Get out of here.
Animating,
Okay, just
Mom,
wanted to see
get
if you
out.
needed anything. You know?
We're getting high. Get out of here.
Oh, great. That's what you're doing the whole time. The whole time they're over there leaning. I thought they were animating. They're just packing a bowl. Great.
We'll act like you just say something about animation.
Yeah.
Say something. Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course, yes.
Yeah. Keyframes.
Pass me
the lighter. Keyframes. Exporting.
We throw out those keywords. It means something to us, but like,
That's why they moved us down here, because animation.
Obviously.
That's all they do.
No, it's just kidding. Oh, great. Look forward to that email.
That email.
You mentioned that he was incorporating hand-drawn elements into 2D animation. There was a lot of that in Shredder vs. Silver Samurai.
correct.
More than I expected, honestly, when
Yeah.
we were first writing this out.
Yeah, it's like the way I decide that those kind of stuff is like I always think like what would enhance the mood, kind of like keep the audience like thinking like, okay, so they're fighting and stuff like that, and like they have like this break, and usually that's where I want to like do kind of like zoom in shots, because it seems like a good part to kind of have that that little breather and stuff like that, but. I want to keep it exciting as well, so that's why I do the portrait shots and I do the zoom ins and all that kind of
The
stuff.
more
And let's-
intense cinematography, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and because also like zooming in on sprites doesn't usually look the best.
No, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I done it a couple times before, and like in those animations that I made, those kind of zooms, like kind of like I wish like I could go back and like change those and have those like zoom in shots to make it look better.
Yeah. And shout out to our sprite artist, Jerky. He's been working with Luis almost since you joined. He's been working with us for a while too.
To be honest, I know him since 2008, and the reason I met him.
He's a longtime G1 as well.
Yeah. It was on the forums when we used to like do animations for the site. We had this group called like A3 or something like that.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that when
Wow,
you
that
guys
was ages
when that
ago.
when you guys did the Screw the Monkey thing?
Yeah.
That's, if anybody gets that reference, thank you for being a very long time follower of Screwtax.
Yeah, but that was like where we got started, and from there we just like we did a bunch of projects together. I did an animation before. It was like a series. I only did 2 episodes. It was a series called Garymon, and we did it for for our own YouTube channel and stuff like that. And that kind of got me starting into After Effects, which was because it was a Gmod. It was like one of those machinimas kind of stuff. So in there, I didn't have to do any Flash or anything like that. So I did a lot of like After Effects, and that's where I learned how to use After Effects, and I implemented that into my Flash animations. And from there, keep going, keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you worked really closely with Jerky, and
Yeah.
probably one of the most notable things from the episode. There's a bunch of cool little elements.
Yeah.
But the ending,
The end.
final
gosh.
extra death, we'll call it that. And Jerky's so proud of it. Like
He
you were
is so
too
proud.
Yeah.
Like when he sent me that, he was like, "This is it. I did it. Like I made my best work." He sent me that.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, master.
The death of the beep.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna
I guess we
ditch
can
those.
spoil the death of the Silver Samurai. Oh no.
Yeah, with Shredder crushing the head. And it was so cool because you didn't tell like any of us that you did that initially. Like at least
That wasn't in the script.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the script was he punches the sword, it goes through Silver Samurai's head, and he takes the sword off, holds it up, and then the head like falls off the sword or
Yeah.
falls all the way down.
Yeah.
But you guys added the extra element of the head flying up and catches it, and then he crushes it
I
in
can
front of the
imagine
camera.
how much work
It's
that
great.
took to create that sprite.
Yeah. It takes a lot of like almost like a week, like in terms of
Man,
like
just
work
for that
in general.
one part?
Yeah.
crazy.
Because like it's a lot of elements, right? You have like the key poses that you have to do, as well as like once you have like the entire flow of the animation all done, you have to color it, and then after that you have to add like the actual like blood splatters and stuff like that. So it's really it's worth it though. Like the whole process is
it
worth it.
definitely was worth it. Like
Yeah, like one of the things that I really want to focus on is definitely on the death scenes. I really like to do that because I always remember, this fight is cool and all. Like you have like all this stuff happening, but the last thing that people are gonna remember is the death scene.
Yeah.
It's the fight. That's like why I think it's the most important because like, like the entire fight is important.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Obviously, but like the ending is like the thing that they're gonna like take with them.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
from the whole
absolutely.
fight. So yeah.
That was a when we were first contracting outside animators and really figuring out how Death Battle worked. That was a sticking point for me that didn't always work too well because I always want our animators. I made it a point with some of our animators that they need to animate the ending first.
Right.
Because we would sometimes get to a point where they had animated almost everything and then the deadline was coming up and I was like, hey guys, we need the animation now. And then they had to rush that last bit. And
Right.
then when it came in, the ending just kind of fell a little flat, a little bit more flat than I wanted it to be. And I always kind of felt like that kind of sucks, right? You don't want that to happen. So
Right.
it's great that it's great to always focus on like the really big points of the fight, and of
Yeah.
course everything in the middle has to lead to it. But I always compare animation or fight scenes in general to like music, where it's got like lots of high
Yeah,
points,
yeah,
and
of
then it
course.
needs little points in between that lead to it. So you gotta like really make those high points count.
Yeah.
And that's
the
great.
the ending is always like being worked on since they're like almost like a week after the production of the episode goes up. Because I want to like make sure that if I do any kind of zoom-in shots, that I get that right.
Yeah.
So I give Jerky enough time to work on that scene and be able to make it as good as he can.
Well, cool.
Well, we're happy to have you on board, man.
Yeah.
I'm really excited
Yeah.
to see what the future holds for the 2D Death Battles that you work on.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So Luis is going to be working on plenty of death battles in the future, as well as.
I totally thought you were about to drop one. I was
I
like,
know,
holy
right?
shit, man.
I was ready. I was like, which one is he about to say? Like, I was ready. I was
Let's
like,
spoil all of them. But
ready.
he can also work on some DBXs between
yeah.
death battles, which is going to be awesome.
We have one in particular that I can't
yes,
wait.
that I wish.
Yeah.
I wish we could
I-
drop your death battle so you can just work.
I wanna talk about that error that I did.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. We'll wait.
But we'll wait
We
on
will
that.
when it goes up. When it goes up. But also, real quick, the next death battle that's coming up, animated by our new friends at Blind Ferret, an entirely separate animation studio who we've been working with closely for the past couple months. They are making the fight scene for Smokey Bear versus McGruff the Crime Dog. Yes, we are doing it. This is a fight. This is an episode
So happy.
that was decided upon
I'm so happy.
3 years ago.
At
We were
Acon.
at, I think it was A-Fest.
I thought it was Akon.
It was one of those. I don't know. It's some anime convention, and we had a death battle panel. The room was packed. There were plenty of people there, and for some reason we decided let's just decide on 2 episodes that we're gonna make right here, right now, which we've never done since because that's crazy. But while we were there, we basically had a big audience vote, and the audience decided that we should do Kirby versus Ditto, which eventually became Kirby versus Majin Buu.
Because poor Ditto.
Poor Ditto would have
Poor
gotten
Ditto.
creamed. And then the other one was Smokey versus McGruff.
Yep.
And that's why this is an episode that's been 3 years in the making, because we knew we wanted to do this. We've talked about this before. We've never made this a secret. But we wanted to do it right.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
think we found the right people for it. Blind Fair, they're awesome.
I know we did.
Yeah.
They did such an amazing job. We got the final cut in. It's amazing. I'm so unbelievably happy. And then just the cherry on the top for me was that, Ben and I are already laughing that this is gonna happen. Like we're getting our first 2D, like fully animated 2D death battle is going to be McGruff versus Smokey. And then so while we were giggling about that, Ben was like, we should get some like really big name voice actors to be McGruff and Smokey. And so we're like, oh, we know Chris Sabat and Chris Rager really well. So,
They'll be totally down for it.
so I think I texted Rager and you sent Sabat a message and they both were like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, they were totally on board for this from day one. Yeah, it's been really fun to make across the board with Blind Ferret, with Sabat and Rager, with like every person in Screw Attack has had some hand in making this too.
Yep.
'Cause it started off with Nick doing a lot of the research and writing, and then passed on to Sam, who became in charge of the episode, and their teams had like a hand in getting some pieces out. Chad, you and I both spent quite a bit of time looking into like the intricacies of Smokey and McGruff's past? Because I know a lot of people are arguing, like, what are we supposed to talk about? These characters are feetless.
Oh, it's awesome.
No. Guys,
no idea.
these characters, they've been around a long time. They've done some crazy shit. Like,
I'm excited. I've been kind of running around with blinders on so I can be like,
Just see it fresh.
it's going to be a surprising episode, I hope. I hope a lot of people are going to be really surprised at just how ridiculous and fun it is.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people also say, like, oh, all these, like, jokey, like, for fun episodes, they always end in a draw. This one might not.
no, they don't. Who says that?
Might not. Well, several of them do.
Oh.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but Guma versus Koopa. So, well, Guma versus Koopa was a draw. Chuck Norris versus Sega Sanshiro is still going.
Yeah. Rebecca Black versus Justin
We'll get
Bieber,
back on that.
which was an
Everyone
episode
died.
that we made.
Yeah.
That was kind of a draw. Everybody just died.
We killed everybody in that. That was
And
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of consider Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie was kind of a draw. I would kind of consider Rainbow Dash versus Starscream under one of these like super fun, weird episodes, and that one wasn't a draw.
What I'd like to say, what's really fun about this one is taking it extra seriously.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing about all these. Like the idea that all these some of these more fun episodes end in draws. I don't like episodes ending in draws.
I don't either.
So if an episode is going to end in a draw, there needs to be like a very specific reason for it, for both the characters, like for the fight to end that way. And if it really is going to end that way, the draw itself has to be like fun or interesting. It can't just end with both characters hitting each other, knocking themselves out. Like that's
Right.
like, that's stupid. Like that's not gonna happen. So like Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, they broke the internet. That was the draw. Rebecca Black versus Justin Bieber, the draw was literally everybody dying. It's an old like crazy stupid episode that we made. That's probably the dumbest thing we've ever made on this channel.
Probably.
That's like,
But yeah, but
do you
we
know that's
try
how
to
I
keep
found
things
Death
fun.
Battle? You know that's how I found Death Battle?
Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black? Really?
I mean, that's kind of why we made that episode.
Like
To appeal to everybody?
I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
like-
was doing. I had
So
like
reach
some,
out to new fans.
I had like some type of shitty internet, whatever, and then I was just like, I guess just looking for fights, like somebody versus somebody, and that popped up. I was like, what the hell? What is it?
sounds like a right
like,
reaction.
and then I watched it. I was like, what is this show?
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and I was like, I'm in.
I mean, that's one of the best things about these sillier fights. We do one of them every year. We don't like spend a whole lot of time or spend a whole lot of our production schedule on a bunch of silly fights.
Right.
We don't really go into meme territory all that much because it can get just super silly, and we want to keep like the show. The show has to have some integrity, right?
Right.
But episodes like Rainbow Dash versus Starscream, Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black, Smokey versus McGruff. Hopefully we bring in some new viewers who've never heard of Death Battle before, but they like everybody knows who McGruff is.
Yeah,
Everybody knows who
of
Smokey is, so long as I guess you're in America. Sorry, non-American viewers.
You're gonna
Never
learn.
heard
But that's
of
the other
Smokey
part of our
McGruff.
show.
Yeah, you can learn about him,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Yeah, I
Hopefully.
mean, I thought Ben's animation was okay, but I like learning. I like learning about the characters.
Yeah.
Come on, he
I
did it in Final Cut.
I didn't know about Spawn.
less than a week.
I like learning about Spawn.
That was back when I had to make the entire episode from start to finish in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Every single one.
That's pretty impressive.
You're ridiculous.
Stupid. God.
That's pretty impressive.
Never do that.
Never
do that.
Never ever do that.
Never try to make an episode of Death Battle all on your own with Chad to come in to voice a couple lines.
I would help with this. I would argue.
Yeah, you would have
I would help determine the victor.
to determine the fight, but
And I would help make the script
I'd have
more
to dedicate
funny.
a whole day to bring the script to you and be like, here's who I think wins. And you'd be like, no. And then I'd have to defend the thing. It would take so fucking long. And I'm like, I could just be animating right now, Chad. But no, I gotta tell you why Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black would kill each other. Like, because their driver's doesn't have a driver's license because he's only 14.
See, but that's the other thing too. Like, we're talking about these joke fights and these endings. They aren't just like joke endings. They're endings how we actually see it going.
Yeah.
Like a great example is the Robotnik versus Wily.
See, but that one wasn't even.
It wasn't even a joke fight, but like that ending
a
is
fun, like a silly fight. Like that was just straight up.
How we
This is
thought it would
how
go. Yeah.
we think it would go because of the situation that these characters would put themselves in.
right. And Deadpool
Yeah.
versus Pinkie Pie, same thing. Like
That's a really good
very
example.
much like. While Deadpool was in a death battle before, he was against somebody who doesn't break the fourth wall, so they're going to keep fighting, right? But we know they both break the fourth wall. We know the nature of Pinkie Pie and the fact that Deadpool's already been in a death battle. They're both gonna tell us to fuck off. You know? Like, they're not gonna fight for our amusement. Anyway, so is now a good time, Ben?
Now's a good time.
All right, good. I'm so excited because guess what I found out today? I found out that it is National Star Trek Day.
Oh no.
And in honor of National Star Trek Day, I thought it would be fun to do another Torian quiz,
God damn it.
all based around Star Trek.
Why?
Because it's funny.
Man, why you gotta embarrass me? I look so good today.
You can't even see your eyes.
That's the
Bring up the
mystique.
hat a little
That's the mysterious. Mm-mm.
You're a mystique.
That's my mystique.
You just
I'm gonna like it. I'm just gonna
Shape shift right here.
Come on, man. You gotta tell me so I can prepare.
no. That's part of the fun. All right.
That ruins the whole point of it.
Don't worry. We're gonna start out with a pretty easy one. So bring up the first slide for Torian's Star Trek quiz.
Jesus, I would have studied.
All right. Complete this sentence.
Oh no.
Live long and.
Oh my God. What does the hand thing mean? What is the hand? That's it, right? The hand, whatever that means, that's it. That's it. Please,
All you need is one word.
somebody help me.
Just one word, Torian.
What does the hand thing mean?
just a single word.
Is it a Vulcan thing?
Oh,
whoa!
Vulcan.
I was not expecting that.
Is it like, well, the Vulcan pinch? That's the only reason I know what that
Wait,
word
it was
is.
a Vulcan bit? Oh, because it knocks people out.
Right.
Yeah.
Use it in a fight.
Shoot. Live long and
By the way, that's not the Vulcan neck pinch, by the way.
I know. He's the Vulcan. Live long and
It's only downhill from here.
This is like the easiest one.
live long and I want to say it. No, because you guys are gonna strike me.
No, just say it. Say it. Come
I
on.
want to say peace, but I know it's.
You're close.
Live long and peace, motherfucker.
No, wait, no! Wait, you didn't hear my second answer.
You're close.
Rewind the buzzer. Turn it back. Turn the buzzer back. My second answer is like, God damn it, prosper?
Yes!
Oh, I did it!
You
I'm the
did
best.
it! Oh my god!
No, personally, I like live long and peace, bitches.
Like,
You've seen this piece?
Is that prosper? Is that?
No, yeah, well, you see, I like your thinking there because it's like, this is normal peace, right?
know-
But this is like super peace. You know? It's
know-
reinforced.
This is live long peace.
The Black Power Ranger was missing a finger?
Yes.
Yeah, we found that out.
Okay. All right. Carry on.
All right, okay, good job.
Yeah,
Let's
great.
bring up the next one. What is the name of this ship?
Shit. Oh my God. It's on the side. I can almost see it. Starship.
Oh,
We're almost there.
man,
Come on, man.
you're doing way better than I thought.
Starship.
Eh?
Voyager?
Oh, wow.
Man, you know what?
No!
I'm just kind of impressed that you knew what the Voyager was.
Come on!
This is the Starship Enterprise.
God, that's the name of the show!
No, the name of the show is Star Trek.
Wait, no. It's,
Voyager.
it's not. Wait a minute. It's not.
Voyager is the
Is
name.
one of the shows not something Enterprise?
Not that I know of, unless they did a reboot.
You
one
guys
later.
don't even know.
That's the fucking Enterprise from Star Trek.
Oh no, I thought it was the same name as the show.
Why wouldn't you just say Enterprise?
Do you know the captain of the Voyager?
Wait.
Of the
The
Voyager?
Voyager's a different ship?
Yeah, it's a different.
Yeah. That's
Is
why I
that,
was.
is that a show?
Yes.
Yes, and that's also the name of the show, Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah. That's you're probably getting that mixed up.
Captain Kirk?
No.
God damn it.
He's almost there. Captain Kirk pilots is the commander of the Enterprise. Captain Janeway.
Why am I getting this mixed up?
Captain Janeway is the Voyager.
I'm legitimately surprised
Yeah.
that you have all this vocabulary.
Man.
ready to go though.
Yeah.
Like it might be the wrong ones, but at least it kind of relates.
He's getting close. He's getting close. That's fine.
All right, let's get to the next one.
Yeah, let's see what the next one is. All right, so which
Speaking of-
one
Oh
of these
my
guys
God.
is Captain James T. Kirk?
Not like this.
Somebody laughed and
Not like this.
Which one is Captain James T. Kirk?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Captain of the
I'm gonna fill it out. All right. The top one is from the most recent movies, right?
Sure.
The bottom left one, I I think it's from the show
Okay.
How do you know?
because it looks like it.
Just like the coloring.
He's just feeling it out.
I'm feeling it out. The bottom right one is fake.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you guys laughing?
Yeah, I don't know, Kimmy. Why is the bottom
Am I
right
wrong?
one fake?
Like it doesn't look right.
Is it because he's in like a wooden
Yeah, what is that?
building?
Oh, he kind of got like a space. Okay. All right. Okay. He got like a space turtleneck on.
I thought he was gonna go with the badge, but he didn't. He went with the space turtleneck.
What? Wait. He got like a little vest on.
I mean, it is cold in space.
His vest doesn't look like the other two. So I mean, that's not Star Trek. The other two though, both of them, I think since the newer one is kind of like a reboot thing, I think the both ones on the one in the top and the one on the left are both Captain Kirk, and that other guy, I don't know who he is.
You were so close. They're all Captain James T. Kirk. The one you eliminated is the same fucking actor as the one on the bottom left. That's William
They
Shatner.
don't look the same.
Time happened.
They both look old.
They both look old?
Yeah,
it's older.
Oh,
They
I'm
both
so sorry, Shad.
Both of them looks like an old show. Like both of them look old. That one just looks like it. The one on the left just looks like it has more color, more orange.
Bottom left is from the show. Bottom right is from the movies they made when they were older. And
What?
then the top one is Captain James
Why is
T.
his shirt
Kirk
not the
in
same?
reboot.
Why has it got on a vest and a turtleneck and not the uniform? That threw me off. And it's an old guy. It's an old guy.
Oh my god.
What?
Okay.
He's clearly older than the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because time happens.
Jesus, man. This is a trick.
You know, but I'm proud of you. You're starting to think like the game. Like
Yeah.
you got in here, like I'm thinking that they're
got
the
two of
same
them.
guy. Yeah,
That's
you were
really
close.
good.
Yeah.
Really close, Torian.
Man,
Now I think there is one
There's
more.
one more.
this is just a setup.
All right, Torian, I would like you to tell me the race of this person.
Oh no. I know. No, I don't. Oh no. Ah! Oh my God.
Race
So
from
many
Star Trek.
other races that I know is wrong.
What? Like
Are
what?
popping up. I was gonna say, it is probably not even a race. I was gonna say midichlorian. I know that's not a race, but it sounds so familiar.
That's the midichlorian.
Ah, the midichlorians.
Here they come.
Scourge of space.
And then I was like, and then I had to trick my brain. I was like, well, it's obviously not. It's not a Wookiee. It's not a Wookiee, right? So then I was like, okay, I ruled out those two. And then I was like, well, he either has to be like, oh man, I don't know.
So he's not a midichlorian. He's not a Wookiee.
That's not a race, is it?
You sure?
Midichlorian is not, no.
No,
but it doesn't
but
matter.
Wookiee is.
But Wookiee is, yes. So what?
Not in this universe, but it's a
Oh no, man.
Just say what comes to your mind. It's fine.
It's
fine.
fucking wrong.
It's fine. We're totally not gonna make fun of you if you
You
get
are
wrong.
making fun of me.
No, you're
This
not.
whole thing is built to make fun of me.
We're laughing with
We're
you.
laughing with you.
That's what you say when you're making fun of someone. That is like the go-to. I keep thinking of Spock is a person. It's not a race. Why do I keep thinking Spock?
Who's Spock?
Spock, he's a guy. He's the first guy.
Oh, all right, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good job.
Shut
Good
up,
job.
Chad.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Do you know his name by any chance? I know that's a long shot.
Dave.
He looks like a Dave.
Yes!
Yeah, he looks like a
Dave!
Please, someone.
From Star Trek.
You ready?
It starts with a K.
Oh.
Your hint.
Nope. So, K. K what?
K.
Give me that second letter.
L.
Give me that count. Oh. The clog. The clogger.
The clogger! So close, Torian.
Clogger.
It's time to put you out of your
damn it.
misery. That is it. Well, Dave, the Klingon.
It's a Klingon, man! Man, I knew that. I swear I knew that. Why did I say midichlorian?
Because that, do you know,
That's a really good question.
I'm so surprised you knew that terminology.
Is that a Star Wars
For
thing?
bonus, it is.
Good job.
Oh no, that's a source of force powers.
Sort of.
Sort of. It's the,
What?
We don't talk
you
about
test.
that.
It's
We
bad.
don't talk about
That's anyway. That was war. That was
No,
war.
no. We're not just gonna brush over that.
No, that's exactly what we're gonna do with midi-chlorians. Brush over.
Those are source
Because
powers.
we have to come up with a community death battle. Klingons.
For
Worf
midichlorian.
versus
Klingon versus
versus
Wookiees.
Chewbacca.
Worf versus Chewbacca.
Worf versus Chewbacca.
Haven't we had Chewbacca?
Klingons,
Yeah, we have.
man. How did I forget that?
What about Klingons versus
Klingons. Like small
God,
babies
why am I
know Klingons.
blanking? What are the aliens from Mass Effect? Mass Effect's like my favorite fucking series.
They're just aliens.
No,
Oh, Reapers.
no, not the fucking Reapers.
What
What is
Reapers
Rex?
are aliens in Mass Effect.
Why am I blanking on they're from Tuchanka.
Grux.
His name's Rex. Krogans.
Krogan.
Thank you. I don't know why I blanked on that.
Yeah.
See?
Krogan.
He doesn't know stuff either.
I'm gonna
Worf
tap out on.
versus Rex.
Yeah. Worf versus Rex.
Worf versus Rex.
David versus Rex?
Wars like species. And do you guys not know who this is? Okay, this might not be good.
What about Spock? Who could Spock fight?
Spock doesn't fight.
He
He
could.
shouldn't fight.
He can.
I mean, I guess, but like
Pickle Rick.
Spock versus Pickle Rick. Bam, there we go. Community death battle. Thanks for.
That'd be so good.
Sure, let's do it. Okay.
What?
What is it?
Spock versus Pickle Rick.
What?
He said it. I was clearly joking because I'm the comic relief. He said
Wait.
that he wanted to do Spock.
Luis,
versus
you
Pickle
are
Rick.
our guest for this episode. What,
about
do you think?
what about the Millennium Falcon versus the Enterprise?
That's a much better.
That's a much better suggestion.
that
Good
is
job,
see,
Luis.
This is. See, he should just be on the show all the time.
Yep. All right, Millennium Falcon versus the Enterprise. It's a Star Trek versus Star Wars battle. Use the hashtag DeathBattleCast and let us know which one you think would win and why. You don't have to do like a super long answer, but we really like the interesting, ideas. Like, for example, the Frozone going through the molecules thing. That's awesome. So yeah, we love when you think outside the box. You don't necessarily need to write a whole essay because we got to read it all here, or we got to condense it. But yeah, send your questions to the hashtag DeathBattleCast and let us know who you think would win. Millennium Falcon. Or
Versus the USS
USS
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
All right, thank you for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.